while we're talking about speed, TJ,
Yes.
did we see the next Calvin Austin III on the football field the other day at practice?
All
Be
right.
truthful. He was wearing
There were-
84 too.
They were
Which
flashes.
for those of you that don't know, Calvin Austin initially was number 84. There was a number 84 playing wide receiver, Darius James from Jacksonville, Florida, sophomore, 5'7", 156. I'm not going to lie to you. He looked like he was 5'4" on the football field. But the kid was freaking flash. I mean, so fast. I mean, if Blake Watson runs a 4.5, this dude may be at a 4.3 without pads.
He definitely looked like he was moving quite quickly. I don't know if it was a relative thing or not, but there were Calvin flashes. I'll give you that.
It was reminiscent of Kendrick on the basketball court. Nobody was standing in front of this dude.
Do you remember last spring practice? There was the Eric Rivers breakout, and everyone was like, "Oh, Eric Rivers is the guy. Like, that's who we need to get the ball." Yeah, spring game.
Need to see.
It's Darius this year.
I need to
100%.
see more of Darius James, and I hope to see more of him.
You say
the
that
the kid has true track speed.
You want to see Darius? I want to see Destin Thomas. I thought he looked really good. More reps.
He did look good. While we're on the wide receivers, how did you feel coming out of that practice the other day? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I still think that's like the biggest question mark probably on both sides of the ball is the wide receiver room. I don't. At this point in time, I still do not feel great about the receivers.
I will say it's still early because the Coach Smith hasn't been here for very long, hasn't really got to put his stamp on these guys. I think Rock and Skates are likely to start. Those are two guys that have great timing with Seth. Seth stated that he's been working with the receivers all throughout, fall, or not the fall, through like the winter, through spring.
Yeah. Off season.
I think it's just they really need to get more reps in there together, and then finding out who that third and fourth guy are going to be.
Right? It's got to be. I mean, it's reps. Got to be reps. I will say this: we've said it multiple times the last 2 years. I freaking love Rock to death, and I want him to be one of the best receivers we've had. The dude has got to catch the football.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't figure it out. There were multiple times the other day where it was just like drops on easy, like screen passes, just dropping the football. Like, you got to catch the ball, man.
Some of those look like effort, though, and I hate saying that because it looked like he was like, "All right, I'm about to get absolutely destroyed if I catch this."
Yeah, but still. And I mean, I guess if you're thinking about it that way, like, better to maybe just drop it in that scenario than to catch it and get smashed, potentially fumble, or just have the clock keep running, right? Like, so I get it, I guess. But
he got pulled aside after one of the drops, and they
got a little talking to.
Yeah, they're working with his hands, talking to him, kind of pitching it back and forth, just keeping him fresh. So,
while we're talking about catching and somebody that we were very high on and saw flashes of, but also, joking or not, we said that he needed rec specs and had a great catch that we felt like he would have dropped last year with Skates.
Yeah.
That over the top down the center of the field, full extension. It was beautiful.
Yeah. I mean,
guys, if you guys are listening, I got high hopes for Joseph Skates this year. I think he's got his contacts figured out and we're ready to rock and roll. Although on that play, he did run into the goalpost.
He was tackled into the goalpost. He was
whatever. You imagine how often that happened when the goalpost was on the goal line. Like, why was that
Entirely
ever a
too much.
thing? Why was that ever a thing?
Shorter field goals made sense mathematically.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it just seems so dangerous. You ever run into the field goal?
Have I ever run into the field goal?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I just didn't know. I mean, I know they're padded. I just wonder how bad that hurts. I mean, he made it. It
Probably
didn't look
still
like it
hurts.
felt good. Yeah, it did not look like it felt good. But
Still a relatively immovable object made of metal. I mean, I couldn't imagine if it was good.